obscured by their judging. You walk through the shadows, uncertain and true. Deserted by the blackbirds and the staccato of the staff. And though you trust the light towards which you wend your way, sometimes you feel all that you wanted has been taken away. You will walk, you will walk, you will walk in good company. I love the best of you. You love the best of me, though it is not always easy. Lovely, lonely, we will walk, we will walk, we will walk in good company. The shepherd upright and flowing, you see. When that storm comes, don't run for cover. When that storm comes, don't run for cover. When that storm comes, don't run for cover. Don't run from the coming storm. No, there ain't no use in running when that rain falls.
Good morning. Welcome to the Unity Center of Pittsburgh. It is so great to have you here with me this morning. My name is Maryann Hackworth. I am the service leader this morning, and I want to first and foremost thank Mac Inglis, who is our technical director. He and I are the only two in the building today. He has been here all week, making sure that this live streaming service will be coming to you. So I hope that we're loud and clear in your own living rooms. Also, I want to thank Shane McLaughlin and Lucy Clabby, and they are live streaming with us today from their home. So we are excited and delighted that it could all come together. So Unity Center of Pittsburgh, let's see, how do I begin? I wanted to tell you that this past week has given us all some pause and some time to reflect. And something that has come to me more strongly than ever is the first principle of Unity philosophy. And that is there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in our lives, God the good, omnipotent. That means that God is all-powerful, omniscient, all-knowing, and omnipresent, present everywhere. And so it has given me comfort, and I hope you as well, to know that the Spirit of God is with us as we move through this time right now of coronavirus. And so I just wanted to share that with you. And now I would like to introduce to you our opening songs are going to be performed by Shane and Lucy Clabby. Peace is flowing like a river.
Peace is flowing like a river, flowing out of you and me, flowing out into the desert, setting all the captives free. Joy is flowing like a river, flowing out of you and me, flowing out into the desert, setting all the captives free. Love is flowing like a river, flowing out of you and me, flowing out into the desert, setting all the captives free. Hope is flowing like a river, flowing out of you and me, flowing out into the desert, setting all the captives free. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for joining us out there in the digital world. We feel very blessed and fortunate to be able to still do this with all of you back at home.
If my mom and my sister are listening, hi, Kate and Susan. They've never been able to come to the services in real life, so here we are. Our next song is going to be There Is Only Love. in this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes to see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when I feel I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. Thanks, everybody.
That was so beautiful, Lucy and Shane. I just want to say, this past week, talking to another board member, Janelle Scheibel, she said to me that when she watched our live streaming last week, that she was brought to tears. And I know exactly how she feels, because to hear the sound of that music and the words and the heart behind it, it just brings me to tears, thinking and knowing that you are with me right now. You are our spiritual family, and we are connected to one another. We know our essence is of God, and we know who we really are. And so we have a vision here at Unity Center of Pittsburgh that we created together. This vision, as we could read together, is that we envision a spiritually awakened world flowing with divine love. And we, as a mission statement, we are an inclusive, loving community. We are dedicated to teach, inspire, and practice positive spiritual living. And isn't that what we're doing right now as we're moving through this? We are practicing positive spiritual living in the face of adversity. So I would like to introduce again Lucy and Shane, and they're going to be bringing to us the song, Holy, Holy, Holy. Please join in.
We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy. Spirit divine, come to me, feeling love, healing me. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am home. We are home. We are home. Thank you, everybody.
And from that knowing that we are holy and we are whole, let us move into prayer. Divine Creator, Mother, Father, God, we open our hearts and our minds to hear you and to speak to you now. We thank you for directing our thoughts. We thank you for uplifting our hearts in this time. And we are holy. We know that our collective consciousness here on this planet is awakening through this moment of now. And you are offering us assistance and guidance and strength and wisdom from within. We know that with God all things are possible. And so our faith is grounded in the positive expectation, the knowing that we are whole, the knowing that healing is occurring even now as we speak, and we are all moving into a collective awakening. And for this, we are so grateful. And so it is. This morning, as I light this Christ candle, I ask that you recognize the light that is within you. Allow this light to come through and illuminate your mind more fully. Allow this knowing of who you are to expand your experience of life. As Jesus told us, I am the light of the world, and we affirm that. You are the light of the world. Now let us together read our unity principles. God is the source and creator of all. There is no other enduring power. God is good and present everywhere. We are spiritual beings created in God's image. The Spirit of God lives within each person. Therefore, all people are inherently good. We create our life experiences through our way of thinking. Through prayer and meditation, we increase our conscious contact with God, bringing forth love, wisdom, health, prosperity, and everything good. Knowledge of these spiritual principles is not enough. We must live them. As you know, unity is founded on the power of affirmative word, affirmative thought, and prayer. And we have an affirmation for today. Let us read it together 3 times. All of divine life is present where I am. All of divine life is present where I am. All of divine life is present where I am. And so it is. This morning, we're going to ask Mac if he would come forth for us and read our daily word, perfect inner peace.
Good morning, Unity. The Hebrew Scriptures tell the story of the word of the Lord commanding the prophet Elijah to stand on the mountain before the Lord, for the Lord is about to pass by. As he waits, Elijah fails to find God as he endures a wind strong enough to split mountains, an earthquake, and then fire. Then Elijah discovers God in a sound of sheer silence. Sometimes chaos surrounds me as I try to find the peace of God. Other times, the chaos may be inside me. I persist in my efforts as I confront inner storms, fires, and earthquakes as I search for peace. Like Elijah, I remain steadfast in faith, undisturbed by what is happening around me. I wait for distractions to pass. Peace is mine. And after the earthquake, a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire, and after the fire, a sound of sheer silence. Kings 19:12.
Perfect. Beyond the chaos, beyond the fire, is peace, an inner peace that does not go away. It is there for us always. Thank you, Mac, for sharing it with us. At this time, we have our blessing of our children. Beautiful children, children of God, we offer our love and gratitude to you, wherever you may be in your homes, and to the children in our families, the children of the world. We know that you have come forth to share joy with us, to bring life into this world, and exuberance and zeal and all that is good. And we thank you for the example that you bring to us, so that we know that we still are children of God, and we allow our life and our joy to come forth as you demonstrate to us. So we bless you, children. We honor you, and we thank you. And so it is. And at this time in our service, we normally get up and shake hands and give each other a warm hug. So I would like us to remember that though the distance may separate us physically, and though we're staying safe and healthy by keeping our social distance with each other, yet we know that distance cannot possibly separate us, for we are one power and one presence, and we touch each other through our hearts, through our thoughts, and through our minds. And so I'd like us to envision reaching out and wrapping our arms around each other, wrapping our arms around our families, whether we are separated by distance or not, that we know the truth, that we are loving, beautiful, spiritual beings, and that we will carry on through this challenge, through this time in space. We bless each other. We greet one another in that spiritual friendship, in the spiritual knowing of who we are. Now, I would like us to look at our core value for today, which is joy. And I wanted to say something. Vince touched on this last week. You know, you might be saying to yourself, how can I be joyful? What is there now to be joyful about? Joy. We're back again, joyfully. I wanted to talk to you a moment about a core value that we have, which is joy. And there may be some of you who are thinking, well, how can I be joyful right now? How can I express joy when this is going on all around us, when the headlines are telling me these pictures of news, and it's heartbreaking. So I'd like to share with you a passage about joy, which is within the book Steps in Self-Knowledge by Letty and Randolph Schmelig. It's a Unity classic book. It is good to be able to feel for mankind. Feel deeply, yet do not lose your sense of balance. Do not be dragged down by apparent suffering in the world, but instead set your heart on joy. This may seem difficult and even callous to some persons, but it takes great courage and love You will not help the one who has fallen into a ditch by getting down there too. Bring joy and freedom into the world just as the great ones throughout time have done. Find joy and freedom within yourself. It will spread through you, for this activity cannot be stifled. Therefore, the work you feel led to do for the sake of the world is primarily an inward task. It centers in daily prayer and meditation. Give yourself over to God completely, and love will come of its own accord. The answers you seek and the outer activity that ought to be done by you will be unfolded for you. Set your heart on Him, for throughout Him all good is accomplished, and from Him all love and joy flows. So I'd like to bring your attention now to prayer. In this segment of our service, we bring into our mind and our consciousness all the situations in our lives that are in need of prayer and healing. And so I ask you to bring forth into your vision family and friends, indeed the community of the world, brothers and sisters, our humanity. We bring them forth now into prayer and healing. We allow the Spirit of God, the divine mind, which knows all and heals all, to bring forth wholeness and life and growth. Spiritual awakening is moving into this moment of now. We feel it and we affirm it. And I invite our musicians once again, Lucy and Shane, to lead us with prayer as we sing together, Surely the Presence.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power, joy and grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power, joy and grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
Surely the presence of God is within this place, within you and within me, within this world that we live together in. So let your minds be calm. Let your breath become steady as we move into a meditation of love, a meditation of certainty that we are embraced. We are loved by a power which is infinite and enduring. Feel this power move into you now as you calm your thoughts. Allow your minds to accept the loving embrace of Mother, Father, God. Affirm to yourself, God embraces me now with love. I am safe. I release my fear into the hands of the Eternal One. And I accept healing. I accept love flowing through me like a river. Peace fills my mind. Affirm to yourself, I release worry and fear and allow joy, the joy of being, to come forth. I am joy. And as I know myself, I bring more joy into the world. And I allow my joy to spread outward from my consciousness, which is awakening. The light of God illuminates my mind. I see only love. I feel only love. I know my essence is love. And breathe into that love and allow it to flow through you. Feel into it. Allow your love now to extend and encircle the planet. Allow your love to uplift the heart of your brothers and sisters, of all are one. We are one. We are connected through our love. And as you open your eyes, smile outwardly in the knowing of who you are. An awakened, beautiful, loving, spiritual being. Your essence is of God, and therefore you are inherently good. And now, I would like to reintroduce to you our amazing musicians, Shane McLaughlin and Lucy Clabby.
This is a song we wrote. When I got poison oak at Danny's place, you should have seen the look upon your face. That itch I couldn't scratch made me so mad. You said, before it gets better, it's gonna get bad. Oh, you said, before it gets better, it's gonna get bad. Oh, 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 ain't that just the way it goes? The way back home always seemed so much longer. And oh, 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 everybody knows we break our bones, but they grow back stronger. Greyhound to the cities, running slow. Hate to leave you here, my dear, but I've got to go. No, I'd never give your love away. When I'm coming home, I'm coming home to stay. When we said goodbye in the kitchen, I thought that I would die, but I just didn't. My broken heart grew less and started running. I opened up the blinds and let the sun in. I opened up the blinds and let the sun in. Let's open up the blinds and let the sun in. Oh, 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 ain't that just the way it goes? The way back home always seems so much longer. And oh, 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 everybody knows we break our bones, but they grow back stronger. We break our bones, but they grow back stronger. Thanks.
Very much. What a beautiful song written by Lucy. I am very impressed, and I totally agree that we become stronger through the adversities of life. And there is a quote by a famous mystic, Rumi, who stated that the wound is where the light enters. And that's really been a thought that has come into my mind in this past week. Lots of emotions. Have you been feeling a lot of different emotions? I'm sure you have. As we know that unity was founded during a time such as this. That's what came into my consciousness this week. I realized that Unity co-founder Myrtle Fillmore was going through a terminal diagnosis of tuberculosis in the late 1800s. And it was a time such as this, a time of great fear and a time of illness that was manifesting all over the planet. During that time, 1 out of every 7 people in the United States and Europe died of tuberculosis. So you can imagine her fear running rampant as doctors told her that there was nothing more that they could do, which is precisely what led her to go deeper within herself and to begin the study of healing. What she did is she opened her consciousness. She connected to her source. So I started reading some of the writings of Myrtle Fillmore. The book that she wrote actually was written afterwards, entitled Healing Letters, are letters that Myrtle herself wrote to correspondents, to people that heard of her healing and came to her for advice. And I thought, well, wouldn't it be timely now to see some of the advice that she offered us, things that she did to discipline herself? That actually was one of the pieces of advice that she gave to her students. Discipline the mind. She says this: you must refuse to open the door of your mind to any anxious, negative thought. When the mind is undisciplined and open to all kinds of disagreeable thoughts, there can be no peace. She advised her students and people that came to her, she advised them to connect with Source during daily activities, just the mundane tasks of life. Allow the mind to connect with this Source, and whenever you notice a negative thought has infiltrated, discipline your mind. Well, how did she do it? She said, create an affirmation, something that works for you. An affirmation is just the right arrangement of words. Just the right arrangement of words which allow us to feel very connected to the power that is within us. And as we make these affirmations ourselves, for ourselves, train the mind by repeating them frequently. In that way, we can be disciplined so that when a negative thought arises, which they will, we can immediately shift our consciousness, our thinking mind, and empower ourselves with an affirmation. They went on, her and Charles went on to, of course, found Silent Unity and the Unity movement. And Charles wrote this: it is the law of spirit that we must be that which we would draw to us. It is the law of spirit that we must be that which we would draw to ourselves. This has become the law of mind action, as referred to in New Thought, or the law of attraction. So we must be that which we want to bring into our experience. Have you noticed when fear-based thoughts arise in your consciousness that they have a tendency to draw unto them more fear-based thoughts and more fear-based thoughts, and it builds and grows? And so Myrtle said, by using discipline of the mind, you train your mind to go back into a positive affirmation. Why would we do it? Because we do not want to create more of same. if we are drawing more negative thought into the mind, it is quite likely that we will also draw into our experience an event or a situation which will bring forth the same emotion that we're feeling in that thought of fear. So from my perspective, and I'm sure yours, there's two modes of creation. One is fear, the other is love. I have witnessed in these past few weeks examples of love. This past week, we had a delivery come into our home, a cabinet that we ordered some time ago for our bathroom remodel. So I really didn't expect it to be delivered. And on Wednesday, they texted and confirmed that they were bringing it. So these two guys come in, and they pulled up the driveway in the truck. They hopped out. It's two young African-American guys. We greet each other. I said, "Thank you so much. I'm so glad you came." Such strange times we're going through. That was the first thing that came up in our conversation, how different this experience is that we're going through. And you know what the one guy said? He said, "You're right." I said to him, "I think that this is allowing us to recognize what really matters, what's important to us. This experience is helping us to know what counts and what we love and who we love." And he said, "I think you're right. I was telling my wife, people are really getting less mean." And I was like, "Really?" He said, "A couple weeks ago, we would be coming to the house to bring something, and people's faces would be like this." He said their faces would look mad. Maybe they had to stay home from work to accept the delivery. Maybe the delivery was late. Maybe something else was going on in their minds, but they never looked happy to him. He said, now we're coming into to their homes. Now we're bringing things to their doors, and they're looking at us, and their eyes are big. And he made his face really big, and he made his eyes get big, and his smile was broad. And he said, they say to us, "We're so happy you came. What's it like out there? What's it like out on the road? We're so glad you brought this to us." And he went on to say something. He said, "I think maybe this is going to teach us that we should just take care of our bodies and drink a lot of tea and eat fruits and vegetables and be healthy and stuff like that." I said, "Yeah, I think that could very well be. That's what you're going to go through. I think that's what we're all going to see. There could be a return again to the love of health, to the love of organic foods, to the love of connectivity to one another. We're recognizing, since we've been told that we cannot touch each other, how much we yearn to touch each other. How important it is for us to be in proximity to our loved ones, and how our relationships matter. You see, fear has obscured this. We get lost in the everyday, in and out. The mundane of life kind of masks the absolute essence of love that lives in us, and it never, ever goes away. And now, through our suffering, through the wound that we are experiencing collectively, a light is brightening. The light is coming into our consciousness. There are examples of it all over the place. I was talking to another guy this past week. He works for Carnegie Mellon University and for a company within that university which is research-based. And there are other universities that are all over the world that do research, development of instrumentation, equipment, mechanical, all kinds of development. And he said, you know what? Normally, when we share information between universities, there's a lot of red tape. There's a lot of steps that you have to go through. Because, of course, every department wants to have that credit for that piece of information that they have come up with in their department, in their research. And so there's a lot of protocol to follow, a lot of agreements that have to be made before information can be passed to another university. He said, it's all gone now. He said that now that this COVID-19 is in our experience, all focus is on research, developing ways to combat the illness, developing ways that we can heal once again through medicine, through science. And if there's a team that's out in Texas or in England or anywhere in the planet, the universities now are openly sharing. I thought about it. I said, well, isn't it interesting that our tendency to pull back and withhold information is based on fear? It's based on the idea that someone else may get credit for something that I want to make sure I get credit for. I want to make sure my department is noted. I want to make sure because it may lead to, promotions or recognition or money. And now, all of this has been pushed aside. The veil of fear is being lifted and pushed aside. It's so evident to us now. Fear has been lifted, and we have been called upon to do it. There's a quote in Timothy, letter to Timothy, said, "For God did not give us a spirit of cowardice, but rather a spirit of power and of love and of self-discipline." What Myrtle was affirming, use the mind, discipline the mind, and align it with the truth of your nature, with the truth of all of us, with the one power, the one presence. Align the mind with that, and that is what will then be created in the outer. The world, as we know, is a reflection of the inner. And the fact that we're going through something in such a global capacity, to me, means that globally we are ready to awaken more. We are ready to lift the fear. In case we don't realize how much we affect one another, there was an interesting article in this month's Science of Mind, and it was written by Reverend Joanne McFadden. She was telling that there's research that has been done at Oberlin College. What they did was a study of squirrels' listening habits. So what they did was they wanted to know if squirrels pay attention and listen to the sounds that are around them, particularly birds. So they had squirrels, and they had 3 separate recordings. One was of a red-tailed hawk. Another was the sound of nature, a babbling brook, wind in the trees, things of that sound. And the third was the sounds of nature plus the chirping of birds in the trees. So as you might expect, squirrels reacted very alertly and very on edge and in a state of worry and fear with the sound of a red-tailed hawk, obviously. And squirrels also calmed, they began to calm when there was the sound of nature that surrounded them. But what was more interesting to the researchers was that the squirrels calmed much more quickly when they heard the sound of birds chirping in the trees. So that led them to wonder, from a spiritual perspective, how do we affect one another with the sound of our own chirping? What chattering is going on within our consciousness, and how might that affect each other in close proximity? And that's what the Fillmore's message and philosophy was all about, is that we affect one another through our thinking. We affect ourselves through our own thinking, plus the others. And she put this question forth: What power do I have to influence others just by my state of being? Can I cause others around me to feel love and joy simply by radiating loving thoughts? If so, then I've got a grand responsibility of which I'm not always conscious. If my state of being can profoundly affect others, then I have the responsibility to always be the absolute best I can be. Remember Myrtle, discipline. It is a lesson worth remembering. Any thought that is outside of this realm of centeredness with spirit has no place in an effort to uplift those around me. Continue to bring your thought into affirmative prayer. For example, she wrote, "Firmly in charge of my own thoughts and state of being, I consciously radiate peace and love and joy to those around me." Keep in mind now that you have to do this not only for others, but for yourself, because the conversation that you may be having, as I said, do not allow our mind to get caught in negative discourse. Do not allow the mind to go into negative discourse. And this discourse does not always have to be verbally outward with others. This discourse could be taking place within our own mind. And when we notice it, we shift our mind back into positive thoughts of healing and love. Louise Hay had a way of putting it. She said, when you start using affirmative prayer, when you start to shift out of fear into love, your inner self, your deep subconscious mind is going to rush forth. It'll rush forth. The ego will come stepping up and say, you better start worrying. Worry, worry, worry. What are you doing? And she said, thank you for sharing. You're going to be hearing a lot more of this now. Please calm down. She just dismisses it with kindness because it's your inner voice. Throughout human history, has there perhaps been a layer of negative discourse? I think so. Based on the writings of the teachers of the past, Jesus being one of them, there probably always has been worry and fear and anxiety in humanity. For he said to his followers, "Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or stow away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life?" No, we cannot. We can add much more into our earthly experience through our experience of love, our feeling of love, our thoughts of love. That is what is creating. Whatever is true, whatever is pure, if there is any excellence, whatever is pleasing, whatever is commendable, if there's anything worthy of praise, think about these things. I'm not saying that we don't recognize the challenge that lays outside of us in this world right now, the challenge that we've brought forth. But I do affirm that we're here for a purpose and a reason. And it is no accident that we're here now. It's not an accident that we've been born into this time. And it's not an accident that you are spiritually awakened and you know spiritual principles work. It's not an accident that you know that you can pray and meditate. It's a practice. Albert Einstein has a few quotes that I really get a kick out of, actually. He said, "The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results." So if we're continuously dropping back into thoughts of fear and worry and anxiety and separation, we're getting the same results. So we must shift it. We must begin to think in different ways. As he explained also, the imagination is more powerful than knowledge. We must utilize our visualization, our affirmation. We shift out of negativity. He said this too, stay away from negative people. They have a problem for every solution. Within our own consciousness, we do this. Negative people may actually be that other aspect of self that lives in there, that when we bring forth something joyful, that negativity from within will come and try to grab hold of it and pull it away and say, no, you can't possibly mean that. But you see, nothing is too much for God. The divine mind contains all solutions, all wisdom. This divine mind is holding the cosmos in order. The planets, the stars, the sun, the change of seasons, all of these things created from the divine mind. Why would we not believe and know in our hearts that there is a healing taking place? Maintain that sense of certainty. Someone from Unity asked me the other day, because I was using the term highest outcome, and I said, I see this virus, this time, and this catastrophe, this challenge as an opportunity to bring forth the highest outcome for humanity. And he said, what does that mean to you? So I would ask you that question. What does the highest outcome mean to you? I'll tell you what it means to me. The highest outcome is that we are collectively, spiritually awakening. That this illusion of separation from Source that has plagued us and persisted in our consciousness, that this is pushed aside. And from within us, from our collective suffering, this awakening is sprouting and coming forth. We are recognizing a different way. We are not insane. No longer. We're practicing spiritual principles. And I said to him, if this highest outcome means that we are collectively awakening, everything else will fall into place. Because from that consciousness, all other things will be created and brought forth. We will not have to legislate for lack of discrimination, to eliminate or eradicate discrimination. We wouldn't have to legislate that. It would be a natural progression. We wouldn't have to legislate the way to live from the heart of connection. It would become automatic. We wouldn't have to legislate to not pollute Mother Earth. It would become automatic. It would be unthinkable for us to throw our trash into the ocean. So, highest outcome for me is our vision, a spiritually awakened world flowing with divine love. And I affirm for you that it is also a highest outcome. I would ask you this week, if you get a moment to ponder that question. What is coming through this experience for me and for all of humanity? And how may I serve? As Jesus said, go and sin no more. And he said that. It has been twisted. Sin is error thinking. Sin is our mistaken identity of separate from Source. That's an error thought. And when the woman had come to him, he said to her, just go and don't do it again. Sin no more. Raise your mind, raise your consciousness. There's metaphysical teaching in that expression that he used. And we are willing now, at this point of history, to do so. I affirm that for myself. I affirm that for you. And I affirm that for humanity. And so it is. So that is the message for today. I want to, one more time, thank Mac before we go into prosperity practice. You have no idea how he dances around and troubleshoots and problem solves. He's just a whirligig, and I am really, really grateful for his expertise. And he has thanked us, actually, for how much he has learned through this process. So, but we are so grateful to have him and to be able to come to you and live stream. We will be doing this for as long as it is necessary. And for all of you, you may not be aware, but what we did this week, after last week, we came to realize that we were really in need of camera and also digital components that I can't even name. Anyhow, the Board of Trustees made the decision to purchase. And it was a $650 investment, which we feel is well worth it and will carry us into the future. And even beyond the time that we are separated in our distance, once we're back, think of the potential that we will have to live stream Unity events and bring them forward on the digital screen here in this room. So it was an investment that we really felt was 100% worth it. So in saying that to you, I wanted to tell you prosperity practice can be still done from you to Unity if you choose to donate. There is a donate button which is on our website. It's also on the link that was sent to you this morning. And of course, we have snail mail, the regular postal service still coming. And also, I want to thank everyone that sent cards, whether they were coming through the mail or also through email, of cards of gratitude and cards of support, cards of connection with each other. It just meant so much to all of us here at Unity, and the Board of Trustees thanks you. So I would like us to practice prosperity now, to bring into your mind right now, what do you prosper in? Think of the ways in life that you have prospered through your family connections and through the love that you have, your relationships, just your life, your very life is an example of an amazing prosperity and intention and focus. And so bring your gift into your mind, bring your awareness of your prosperity into your mind now as we pray the prayer of gratitude. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. So it is. I'm going to introduce once again Lucy and Shane to do our closing song.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh, let it be. Whisper words music, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh let it be, oh let it be. There will be an answer, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be, oh let it be. There will be an answer, let it be, let it be, let it be, oh let it be, oh let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you again, Lucy and Shane. I wanted to say one more announcement. We added to the website a link which came from a friend here at Unity. It's a Johns Hopkins University informational sheet on how to protect ourselves and everything that you would want to know that they understand currently about the COVID-19 virus. So I just wanted to tell you that Sherry, our office manager, gratitude to you, Sherry, for all of your work here and what you do. She added a link onto our website, and it's very informational if you'd like to check that out. What I would like to do right now is bring us to the prayer for protection. If we can say it together. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. So Lucy and Shane are going to take us home with peace on earth. Thank you all.
If you have anyone at home to hold hands with, now's the time. Now there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me. Now there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Peace has begun with me, and this is the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Now there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me.
And so it is. Have a beautiful week.
Come with me to the old churchyard. I so well know those paths neath the soft green sward. Friends slumber in there that we want to regard. We will trace out their names in the old churchyard. Mourn not for them, for the trials are o'er. Why weep for those who will weep no more? For sweet is their sleep, though cold and hard their pillows may be in the old churchyard. I know that it's fate when our friends depart to breathe kind words to broken hearts. and I know that the joy of life is mine when we follow lost friends to the old churchyard. But were I at rest 'neath yonder tree, why would you weep, my friends, for me? I'm so weary, so wayward, why would you retire? The peace I seek in the old church. Why weep for me? For I'm anxious to go to that haven of rest where no tears ever flow. And I fear not my fate when it's time to depart. I will set with the sun in the old churchyard. I rest in the hope that one bright day sunshine will burst through these prisons of clay. The trumpets will sound in the hills near and far. We'll wake up the dead in the old churchyard. I rest in the hope that one bright day sunshine will burst through these prisons of clay. The trumpets will sound in the hills near and far. We'll wake up the dead in the old churchyard. The trumpets will sound in the hills near and far. We'll wake up the dead in the old churchyard. obscured by their judging. You walk through the shadows, uncertain and sure, hurting, deserted by the blackbirds and the staccato of the staff. And though you trust the light towards which you wend your way, sometimes you feel all that you wanted has been taken